So we went through this childhood and we had all these things that were bothering us, and we've gone through a lot. We've been through joy and pain and my best friend did this and they stole my boyfriend or they stole my husband and they cheated and all these things that we talk about people have done to us, right? I'm the only one. What? Oh, okay. We just don't want to talk about it because what did Paul say? Leaving those. That was then, and we got to let it go and forgive it, right? Yes, and you see what I wrote there, no condition is permanent in our life. It only becomes permanent when we keep doing what? What was that? What did that young lady say over there? When we keep feeding it. When we keep feeding it. When we keep feeding it. I heard that if you get up and you go to work one day and you talk about you have a headache and how bad you feel, and if you say it to enough people, by 12 noon you will go home sick and with a headache, because everybody be like, yeah, you do look sick. Yeah, you don't look well. Oh, you old poor baby, you look, oh my God. So keep feeding it. Did you guys hear me? You hear what I'm saying? Truly. You can feed it. And I find myself doing it sometimes. Don't think that I'm exempt from it. I do it and Della Faye, snap out of it, girl. Are you crazy? What do you want? The bottom line is, what do you want in your life? So you keep feeding it, that's what you're going to get. You see, I did this talk one time. If we don't live it, I'm talking about the Word of God. That was my topic. If we don't live it, we really don't believe it. Because he said, I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever. I'm not going to change. You keep on doing what you're doing, having those old negative thoughts, feeding that negative stuff, and guess what you're going to get? More of the same. Bottom line. So we're all smart enough to know that. So just know that it's human nature to fall into those traps. But snap out of it.
Why was the church started? You know, there's leaders in the church. There's leaders in the company. In every company, whether you own it or whether it's a company you work for, there's leadership. There's the CEO, the CFO, the SVP, the VP, the director, the manager, the SUPV. You have all of these people that make up the company. They're the head. But what's the purpose? They have a product or a service that they want to deliver to the market. So they want to be prosperous. The same way in the church, we have a leader. His name is Jesus Christ. And our leader has skills that are world renowned. Our leader was one of the most respected leaders of all time. Our leader was the ultimate model of right leadership. His legacy. He never wrote a book, but thousands of stories have been written about him. He never wrote a song, but even this morning we've been singing songs about him. Our leader. I said, let me find out, why did Parkland decide to start their company? And here's what their mission statement said. It says, we're dedicated to the health and well-being of individuals and communities entrusted to our care. The church, do we have a mission? Do we have a mission? Is it the Great Commission? Anybody know about the Great Commission? Our mission, the Great Commission, tells us to spread the word about Jesus Christ. So today we're talking about spiritual resumes. You know, we have those secular resumes where we put all these character traits down on our secular resume. But if you were to write your spiritual resume, would it have the fruits of the Spirit? Galatians 5:22 through 23. You know the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. If I had love down, would that mean that I meet the needs of others without even complaining? Would it say that I have self-control, that I have discipline and restraint with obedience to God and to others. We're talking about your spiritual resume, your legacy. What are you going to leave behind? So,
I know a lot of us have loved that movie, The Titanic. I'm always asking people, what do you think happened? And they were like, remember, they were so arrogant. The guy was so arrogant, nothing can happen to this ship, this Titanic. And I said, that's not really what happened. You see what happened? How many people here have ever gotten up and said, oh, I got up on the wrong side of the bed today. I don't feel good. They just didn't feel like doing the right thing that day. And so the Titanic, if you study and read the story, you will learn that there was a cranky old operator. He probably got up on the wrong side of the bed that day, and he was warned, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 6 times he was warned that there was danger up ahead. He was warned that there was ice and that there was an iceberg, but he didn't listen. Matter of fact, he told them, shut up. Shut up. When they tried to help him, he told them, shut up. I'm already working on something. And then he turned off that radio. You see, what was important to him was to bring your messages to you, but his not doing well that day, he probably should have stayed in the bed. It cost thousands of lives, right? And that not only affected those lives, but their family members' lives. So that's another reason I say we should always do well. This is my own personal story, something that I went through. I worked for a major transportation company, and I was part of the business development department. New business, we got to bring new business into the company. Oh yeah, we went out and brought new business in. We bidded on proposals. We won those contracts, major contracts. They would take the contract to the CEO. He would have to sign it. And then at the end of that, a lot of people would come to my desk, some of the managers that reported to my boss. I worked for the head of the department. And they would come and say, we left too much money on the table. We underbid that contract. And I would say, well, why didn't you say that to the boss? Why didn't you say that to the CEO before he signed? You let him sign it, and then all of a sudden we start losing a lot of money, and the CEO said we have to get out of some of these contracts. We had to pay like $900,000, $750,000 to get out of those contracts. So guess what happened one day? Because these people decided not to say anything, they told me, Della, you never go over the boss's head. Even if that meant doing the wrong thing and not doing well, I couldn't understand it. Well, when the big CEO came to our department one day and told 10 people, here's your pink slip, let 10 people go, I cried. One man cried. He was so bitter. Why was he bitter? He had reason to be. He had just had a brand new baby. He had just bought a brand new house. His wife wasn't working. And so now he found himself out of a job, all because they didn't do well. You see, everything we do affects others too. I needed to change my cell phone. So I went into the retailer one evening, and the young clerk there said, 10 minutes to 6, 10 minutes to 6. You got 10 minutes and you're coming in here with only 10 minutes left? You don't even know what I need. You don't even want to listen. You're just telling me 10 minutes. Maybe what I wanted to do would only take you 2 minutes. But you're telling me 10 minutes. I said, well, it's obvious this is not your company, but I want you to know this. Even though this is not your company, that's how you get a paycheck. That's how you meet your obligations. What obligations? You like to pay your rent, you want to pay your car note, you want to pay your mortgage, you want to wear your nice fancy clothes, you may want to take a vacation, you may want to pay for your kids to go to college. I don't know what it is you want to do, but I truly believe that we get to always do well. Always. You just got to make a choice that I'm going to do well, because what I do can affect others too. So my thing to that young man was this: if the company folded tomorrow or closed, you would be upset. You would be without a job, and you'd want to blame them. You see, because I'm a good listener. You'd want to blame them, but it was you that said, 10 minutes to 6. You got 10 minutes. I had a girlfriend and we were talking one night. I said, is work something you get to do or is work something you have to do? She said, something I have to do. I said, no, work is not something we have to do. Work is something we get to do. Is that right? I can tell you it is because I traveled for a major corporation all over the country. I was a corporate trainer and in every major downtown city, Miami, Philadelphia, I would always see homeless people. That's why I know work is something we get to do, we don't have to do. Because I told myself, I don't have to go to work. I don't have to have all these fancy clothes. I don't have to do that. That's why work is something we get to do, because we made a decision that we want a car, we want to drive all these fancy cars and have homes and do all of that. So work is something we get to do. That's why I say every day when you get up, you ought to shout. Remember that song, Shout? Make me wanna shout. Yeah, makes you want to shout because you know you're getting to pay whatever bill. Benefits of something new, but they should not have to spend their dollars to try to bring a customer back when I was already there. But we don't look at it like that. We look at it like, it's not my job. So many people have that attitude. I went into Singular one evening and the guy was like, 10 minutes to 7. Got 10 minutes. How you gonna come in at 10 minutes to 7 for me to take care of you? I said, well, it's obvious it's not your company. But what you need to realize is you're still getting a paycheck. And if the company folds, guess what? You fold. And then you wonder why the company folded. Well, what kind of service were you giving? So as you go through life, look for ways to serve. If you are unhappy or dissatisfied serving in your current capacity, what I say is become still, meditate. Say, dear God, I surrender this day to you. What would you have me do today? What would you have me do today? Remember these things as you go about serving and meeting the needs of others. My contribution counts. My action or inaction affects and touches the lives of many people. I'll get up. We got 24 hours in every day. We spend at least 12 hours, and you calculate it. You get up, you shower, you eat, you get dressed, you get in traffic, you drive to work. You have to spend 8 or 9 hours there, and then you have to drive back home. So you spend half of your day earning a living. You get to spend 4 hours with your family, and the other 8 hours you probably sleep. So if you take all of that time, then why not be the best and give the best service? As a servant, just know that there are no triumphs without troubles. When problems are encountered, you must face them and take action to handle them. Move forward to meet your objectives. I read a story recently about a farmer that had a donkey, and the donkey fell in the well. And the donkey was whining and crying, and the farmer said, you know what? Let me take this donkey out of its misery. Let me go ahead and bury it. I need to cover the well up anyway. So he went around to his neighbors and he said, I need help to go ahead and bury the donkey. So they came and they were digging and putting dirt over in the well, He didn't hear any more cries. And he looked over in the well, and guess what was happening? Every time they were throwing the dirt in, the donkey was so smart. Now, we're supposed to be smarter than the donkey. I want you to remember. The donkey was shaking the dirt off and burying it under his feet. And they kept doing it, and guess what? He lifted himself out. So you're going to have trials and tribulations, but guess what? You better be like that donkey and find a way to get out of it. Because people are there to help you if you ask for help. If your company has a bad reputation, we are the company. We can rebuild that reputation. Why would people come to us, or why would we want them to come to us and do business with us and spend their hard
way? Another individual cannot make us love, hate, forgive, condemn, trust, or distrust. We are in charge of our attitude. Our attitudes are at least in part shaped by the cultures in which we participate. You may have to change the company you keep, the music you listen to, or even the programs that you watch. We choose to act and react to every circumstance and situation, whether pleasant or unpleasant. If we are exasperated, it is possible we are holding on to past failures. It is possible that we have not loved others unconditionally, forgiven others for their debts, to the extent we want God to forgive us for our debts. We cannot become what we need to become by remaining what we are. To thine own self be true. If we want love, then we must be a source of love. If we want forgiveness, we must learn to forgive others. If we want peace, then we must be a source of peace. Many biblical principles teach us the cause and effect of the conditions manifested in our lives. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews, the 11th chapter and the 1st verse. To have all your dreams come true, you must have a feeling that what you want will manifest. You must have hope and expect the desires of your heart to manifest. Webster's dictionary defines substance as the real or essential part of anything. It defines hope as a feeling that what is wanted will happen. It also says that hope is desire accompanied by expectation, and that hope means to want and to expect. So, beautiful people, start expecting what you want. Start expecting what you need. To have all of our dreams come true, we must have faith as a little child, because a child's faith is perfect. A child accepts things at face value. They believe the promises and words spoken to them. We also, referring to adults, we must accept, believe, and have hope. We must first clearly see the thing that we desire in our mind. Learn to meditate, learn to visualize, learn to see what it is that you want. We cannot see our mind, yet we know that we have a mind. We cannot see